This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 861 for the week of Monday, March 24th, 2025. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
And my name is Alex.
And on today's show, we have a very special guest. He is the translator for One Piece in Weekly Shonen Jump and Manga Plus. His name is Stephen Paul. How's it going, Stephen?
Going good. I think for the first time in like a month or so, I do feel like, okay, I'm completely recovered from whatever cold I had. So yeah, feeling good finally. And I'm really excited about this week because there's some fun stuff to go through in this chapter. So I'm looking forward to sharing some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Alex, you doing okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did Stephen pass it along to you?
No, he didn't. I'm sick, people. But don't worry. I won't. It's non-communicable through sound waves.
Why not?
I don't know.
But that would be fucked up.
The real
I know. I did
virus.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Sound wave superior.
Megabyte.
Constructicons inferior.
Right now, the
Yes.
only thing contagious through podcasts is male loneliness.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, Steve.
Good Lord, man.
All of us here, you might also hear that voice. That is our special guest today, not suffering from that, Mike Patten. Oh, wait, I have a whole introduction for Mike Patten.
You completely skipped
No,
it,
I'm going to not skip it. I'm not going to skip it because he's the storyboard artist and animation supervisor for Reset and the author of, quote, The Really Good Post, unquote, coming out March 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern on BlueSky. Right, Mike Patten.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Thank you for having me. It's nice to.
Can you tell us more about this post that's coming up on?
Yes,
March
Steve,
29th?
I'm so happy that you asked. If you're listening to the podcast, I'm going to give you 1 second to go grab a pad of paper and a pen. So pause your podcast right now. Go grab it. Okay, you're back. On Thursday, March 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, go to BlueSky, find my account, patent pending, at bluesky.com. I don't know how the...
BlueSky.social.
BlueSky.app.
Thank you.
Or something.
Exactly. So you're going to go
Social.
there, and at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be making a really good post, and you're not going to want to miss it. In fact, I advise you to pop on at maybe 7:50. I'm going to go and get the ball rolling then, so we can all welcome it in together. But 8 o'clock, we have a really good post coming.
Is there going to be like a ball dropping and like a confetti?
Yeah,
No,
balls dropping.
Like New York, like New Year's Eve.
Like, are we going to see your hog? Is that what it's going to...
No. Well, look, here's the thing. You got to be there to find out. So I can't confirm or deny anything that's going to happen.
True. That's true.
Mike, would you say come aboard and find out?
Come along, yeah. Come
Yeah.
over.
He's
Bring
trying
your
to
friends.
do a 4Kids thing. Which, by the way...
It's not the 4Kids open.
No? Okay.
Come aboard and find out.
This is...
Oh, that's
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
I was right. Yeah. I actually was right about a reference, Steve.
I thought we were doing English We Are.
No, I'm not.
No, I wasn't doing that.
Come aboard.
Come.
Gonna leave that. This is also a special podcast because this is probably going to be the last time for many months that all four hosts, plus Stephen, of course, are in the same episode because Alex, we've mentioned this, I think like 1 or 2 times on the show, but do you want to let the world know what's going on?
Yeah, having a baby in like soon.
Could happen at any second.
Yeah, kind
How
of.
soon?
Congrats.
If he disappears in the middle, just assume he has a new baby now.
Yeah. If you go to a Mr. Rental and you get the videotape of the birth of Alex's child, you'll have to fast forward to soon, like within a week.
Yes.
It's
Oh, wow.
It's my
battening down the
birth.
hatches time.
It's my birthday baby, like specifically for me.
He may be born on your birthday, Zach.
Maybe.
I kind of hope he is because I think that your birthday is a good birthday to have.
It's extremely memorable.
Usopp birthday.
It's an
It
Usopp
is.
birthday. You get the same jokes. It's the you're an April Fool, huh?
Well,
You
if it's
must be
April
real
2nd,
funny.
you know,
It
there's
reminds me of a
Josh.
meme I saw recently about Mihawk, where it was a meme of Kuma saying, "I curse fatherhood upon you." And like, do you think that Kuma sent Perona and Zoro to Mihawk just to fuck with him.
Yes, that's actually a good point.
I
which
like
we
that.
should devote a segment to at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he finally got his bachelor pad in the
Yeah.
Muggy Kingdom, and
With his weird fucking toilet room.
the
Is it a toilet room?
Yeah, the big.
You don't have it? Yeah, it's a bathroom.
The big empty room with a rug and a toilet.
Like in the middle,
That's
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of a bathroom having carpet.
No.
Correct.
No, that's correct.
But-
yeah.
I mean, who's
But
to say it
Alex-
was carpet? It could be mold, fuzzy mold.
Okay. Steve, what were you going to
But-
ask Alex?
I was saying, Alex, if your child is born on April 2nd, they share that with Josh, but our good friend Josh. But keep in mind, then I think Josh like shows up at your house and takes the baby away, like Janos,
Pharaoh?
like Janos, from, Ghostbusters 2.
Like Janos. Yes, Peter McNichol,
Yeah,
Like David
star
Bowie.
of The Day the Earth Blew Up, now in theaters.
Isn't that also what
Good
that German Santa Claus-ish thing
Krampus.
does? What's it called? Krampus.
Krampus.
yes.
No,
Krampus.
Krampus just
Krampus.
whips them. He
Krampus?
whips unruly children.
Oh.
And sends them back to hell.
Hey, we're going to talk. This is very relevant for this week's chapter, 1143. Holy Nights, I believe, is the title. So we're going to get to that
Yeah.
soon.
Great segue, me.
Damn.
Did you
I was
just
gonna say,
wink
Alex,
at
if
yourself?
if your baby is born on Thursday, March 27th at 8 p.m., they'll share it with the
No, seriously, Mike. If that happens, you will be the first to know that my child.
Oh my
is born.
You definitely should. And the post will be Alex's child is just born.
Well, let's
Wow.
not get ahead of ourselves, but that would also be a good post.
So wait, if the you know what? Let's just move on.
Save all questions about the really good post until the end, please. Thank you.
Until after the post. So let's do One Piece news. We have a lot of it. I'm going to start with the most.
Zoom past. Just zoom.
Let's start with the most important and then go to the least important. Most important, the BVB collaboration with Borussia Dortmund set for March 30th. This is just because I have no connection with any of the words I'm saying right now.
Yeah, they were. I think they were champions of the German league semi recently, within the last. Few
And I know
years.
they have a lot of One Piece fans in their club.
Yes, they also have, I think, the largest stadium in Germany.
Oh, I forgot to preface this. This is the sports news segment. How are the Knicks doing, Mike?
Man, you are asking me like
They're 1-0 when
weeks after
Tracy
I'd
Morgan
stopped
throws
watching
up on the court.
Exactly.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan got food poisoning at the game recently. Threw up, had to be wheeled out. It was very
And
scary to
apparently
see.
he boofed so hard he gave himself a nosebleed.
Yeah,
That's
it
rough.
was very rough to watch.
What did
but
he
then
eat, though?
posted, I don't
Gotta
know,
tell the
but-
people to
Move
avoid
on.
some foods at
Is there full?
Madison
So
Square
there's
Garden.
there's full footage of Tracy Morgan throwing up.
Him being wheeled
It's-
out
Oh.
with a holding a towel to his face.
We can laugh because he's okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it was
Oh, he-
like
he gave
scary
the
to
thumbs up?
watch. Yeah.
He-
Well, he posted from the hospital like saying that they found out it was food poisoning, but then he also said that the Knicks are now 1-0 when I puke on the court, so he has to puke again during the finals.
During the playoffs, yeah.
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 The
Which
Knicks
is-
are invading everything.
Which is such a Tracy thing to say. Like it's a good
Yes.
joke for Tracy Morgan to say, but Tracy Jordan would say that seriously.
Yeah, true. Also in sports news, since I don't know how. Oh no, it was my fault actually that we got onto the Knicks. There's also a pretty big deal if you live in Seattle. There's going to be a One Piece night there. The Seattle Mariners versus the Houston Astros on April 8th at the T-Mobile Park. You could get an exclusive One Piece Mariners tee. I feel like they could have done a big
Yeah.
Marine thing.
And there's actually
but-
they're doing One Piece night at the Red Sox game in May, I heard.
Yes, that too.
With
And we
the-
just did the one with the Lakers.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? A couple weeks? A month ago.
And the one
Couple weeks.
at
Yeah,
Fenway
end of
Park
February.
has like a One Piece straw hat themed Red Sox jersey that you can get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't they
So-
previously have a bobblehead? Was that the Red Sox?
That was last fall, I think.
Yeah, the bobblehead
Yeah.
looked a little wonky, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's free bobblehead day at the
No,
park.
yeah. So that's the sports news section. In One Piece regular nerdy news that we all enjoy. the One Piece anime is coming back on April the 6th, I believe. It's that first Sunday. They're going to do an 83-minute Egghead recap the day before on Saturday, April 5th. If I read this, I would have been sure it was April 6th. And they're going to
hopefully
play the last
Sam will be
episode.
back to recap the new episodes for us.
Yeah,
Possibly.
I don't think Sam left, so I hope he is around. We've just been hiding him in a corner this whole time, but he's around. That's very cool. It's going to be available on Crunchyroll and on Netflix.
The recap?
The recap episode, I think, on April 12th is
Yeah.
when that's going to be available. I assume the episode will be simulcast as usual, the new one, which, by the way, includes a new opening all about Dan Brown's Angel and Devil. Oh, wait, no, that's
Boo.
Angels and Demons. Anyway, that Angel and Devil is the new opening by
How do you say this group's name, Zach?
Green Boys. Gotta do the Z.
I didn't hear a 4 in there.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, you're not
Graforian.
listening hard enough.
I'll be an old curmudgeon. I'm like, this song
Yeah,
better be good.
maybe Tom Hanks is in the opening.
There's like a preview for the song in the little TV
There
spot. and
is. You
It
can't
sounds
really hear
fine.
Yeah.
It's not us.
No.
Come
Nothing's
on.
us.
And it's not the song Us either. So
Yeah.
Both are true. That open us. We should probably do when we're bored one week, another opening ranking, because I am like
it'll be
curious.
6.5 hours long.
They always are.
I'll
Just
come back
because
for that. I'll just have a baby.
a baby
me.
on you. Yeah, I mean, so will I. We'll all have babies and be discussing One Piece openings as one does.
I'll have to go find one.
Yeah,
Go get it.
yeah.
Grab
You
your
can get it
nearest
from
baby.
Josh. He's apparently stealing them. Slander. I could already hear him saying that. But yeah, the new opening starts with the part 2 of Egghead. They didn't show a lot of new stuff in that teaser trailer, but it is a teaser trailer.
I mean, I thought that's all that's all like new footage. That's the new episode.
No, there was some from the older episode. I thought the Lucci stuff happened already, right? Because didn't they show some of the Lucci, Zoro, Luffy, that whole fight? Or I might be wrong.
Not
look
very
new to me.
important.
No. Thank you, Stephen. More news. On that same day, the gag manga One Piece in Love is getting vertical anime shorts, which I think mean built for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, for the 5 days leading up to the premiere. So,
Yes, product
April 2nd.
integration.
yes, I believe that's the technical term. And yeah, so I've never read One Piece in Love. Stephen, I feel like you're the only one who could have.
No, I don't read any of the spin-offs, and unless they get assigned to me.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to beat the spin-offs from the most recent One Piece magazine, I feel like, too, because I gushed a lot about those. You could listen to that episode.
Yes.
And last but not least, the English Dubcast has a whole ton of announcements where I'm going to leave for Steve and Alex to respond once I go through them. We have Amanda Gale as Mato. Which one is Mato again? That I really don't remember.
Mato is the giant Makino. She's the bar lady.
Oh, the barkeep, yeah.
Oh,
And who's Gombo? Because that is Dylan Mobley. That one I can't remember either.
That's the oh god, he's one of the backup revolutionary. It's
The cow
The cow one?
No,
No,
that's Ushiano.
Oh, you're right.
Luciano, yeah.
Gambo is the one that looks like Humpty Dumpty, I think.
Ushiano is going to be played by Rudy Lopez. Chula King is going to be Colin or Colin.
Humpty Numpty.
Sorry, Kian Chula King. Jeremy Inman is Alvaro Pizarro. Is that new though? Did Jeremy?
I
Inman
thought he
do that
already had a
before?
voice.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
This is from Adil, by the way, so I'm just reading. I'm like a Ron Burgundy. You just put it in front of me. Mallory Rodock, Kujaku, Alex Holm as a young Garp, and Neil Kaplan as Figurlin Garling, which I believe was the big wave that came out of that.
Cool.
Any reactions, Steve specifically?
I got to catch up. I think I'm still working my way through the previous batch that came out a month or so ago. But Very excited.
A couple of those names seem familiar. Most of
Neil
them.
Kaplan played Optimus in something I saw.
And Robots in Disguise, the 2001 anime.
Wow.
But
Cool.
probably, I don't know, people our generation might remember him as Hawkmon from Digimon Season 2.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And in Bleach plays that's Yamamoto. That's the old guy, right? So that's appropriate. But it's interesting seeing like someone. I guess that was the Viz side. I guess they're just.
Well, they were Los Angeles based, right?
Yeah, LA.
I was gonna say the lines have blurred at this point because of Funimation's takeover. Since how many years ago was that? Okay, so that's the news. I think now we could finally talk about chapter 1143, and we'll do it right after these messages. This is the manga recap for chapter 1143, Holy Knights. Holy Knights! You could read this chapter and all chapters as soon as they come out from shonenjump.viz.com or mangaplus.shueisha.co.jp. Okay, so let's get started. Steve,
Yes.
what's going on the cover of Shonen Jump?
I was waiting for you to tee me up there. You just said Steve, and I'm like, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Just a very bad fuel leak here. Very dangerous.
Boring conversation.
Yeah. That's right.
That's
Well, on this cover of Shonen Jump, it's a spiky, jagged edge border in the top left corner, but we got Luffy, Zoro, and Loki on here. Luffy and Zoro are kind of charging towards the camera. Luffy ready to punch. Zoro with his swords drawn with a DreamWorks smirk. And,
Yeah. and Lorky with his tongue out.
yeah, Loki just making the Lorky Malarkey. Loki making that face he always makes.
Yeah,
The Flamingo face.
Lorky Jones.
His tongue's gonna dry out.
Yeah,
His breath's gonna stink.
it's gonna freeze. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Oda really is enjoying Loki because this is like he was prominent on the volume 1. What is that? 111 or 112? 111, I think.
111.
Is Loki a victim of when like his mother told him like if you keep making that face, your face is gonna get stuck like that.
yes.
Go Flamingo too. It must be a communicable disease, maybe by audio.
Guys, maybe they're related.
They have the same tongue.
That's
crazy.
that's impossible. He has
Well,
purple hair.
Speaking,
That's
true.
impossible, even for a computer.
speaking of characters who are related, do we talk about Hibari's Viver card?
What?
No?
Hibari's
No.
Viver card says she's from the North Blue and it's got the same blood type as Akainu, so could definitely be his daughter.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
there was talk of like they have like a similar.
They have the same
vocal
accent.
They have the
tick.
same Hiroshima accent, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And
Yeah, but blood type feels like really struggling to make the connection.
I didn't know they gave blood types on the Viver
Oh, yeah,
cards.
they do.
blood types
blood
are
type's a huge thing in Japan.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
like it's like
Astrology.
yeah, it's like astrology, which reminds me
Nice.
of another meme I saw today. I saw this week of
Please.
a sort of a fan art cover story of Kobe and Hibari's first date. Meeting her father.
That's an excuse.
He's got the shotgun.
Steve, any other thoughts on the cover?
Stay away from my daughter.
Kind of standard. I mean, it's like the coloring's really nice, but
good.
I think I don't think there's anything that really kind of really makes it unique other than just like standard affair. Luffy's got nipples though.
Is that
There's
is
that.
that
He does.
uncommon?
You can milk him.
Let me
yeah.
open this up.
It's just the first time I'm just noticing them. I'm like, oh yeah, there they are.
We all noticed them one day.
You know what?
His
He
eyes are up
does.
there, guys.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Staring into your soul. He also
You
is
milk him.
blushing.
Anywho,
Vitamin D.
Zoro still has those awful goggles. Yeah, Steve, do you want to do the color spread?
Well, see, his nose got broken in the last NBA game, so he has to wear those. All right, so we got a color spread, of course, this week, and
Super fun.
based on a reader request, a Straw Hat crew car chase. So Oda basically doesn't do that.
Yeah, they're all riding flying fishes. They stole from Duval, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Except
these
for
are the flying
Jinbei.
fish. Yeah, Jinbei's-
He don't need no flying fish.
no.
He's a swimming fish.
Yeah.
It's like Sonic R, where all the characters are running except for Amy Rose, who has to drive a car.
And
reversal of that.
there's a little thing on there that says speed is the weapon. A lot of times when there's stuff on there like that, it's for song lyrics.
Yeah, that's true.
Or it might be complete nonsensical.
Yeah.
Like Oda thinks this is cool, sort of thing. But it could be either. I don't know.
But this is kind of fun. Like, actually, some like interesting color choices here. Like, we have like Zoro in blue, Sanji in green.
Yeah, it's different.
Frankie and Usopp in purple. I think that's trying something a little bit different here.
But Chopper
But
back as the backpack for Zoro is great to see.
He's his brother.
Yeah, no,
I like that everybody's wearing their number.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also in the place of their number for the most part. Like first place, second place, third place is at least.
Brooke looks like he's about to step right off.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
assuming he is. He
It's hard
can
to tell.
run on water. People forget.
Yes.
Like if you zoom in, it's kind of hard to do. But like if you get a real zoomed in look, you can see that Robin is holding like I don't know, like a parfait glass or something like that, like a mixed drink or something like that. But it does kind of look like she's just holding his ankle as he's.
I want to
Yeah.
know.
Cool.
Sanji has like a plate and a drink, and how is that not just spilling everywhere?
He's a
got-
professional.
Good question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Incredible balance.
Professional.
And
I was going to say, when you're a professional, you could do that somehow.
Or he's Spider-Man.
And why is he
Core,
wearing his
core muscles.
And why is he wearing his underwear over his racing suit?
That's Zoro's underwear.
That's just good old fashioned from the hit Nickelodeon show Doug. That was on the head, right? Was it also over the?
No.
Oh,
it was over
you're
his
thinking of
shoulder.
Quail
Quail
Man.
Man.
Yeah, that was
Quail
over
Man.
his
Yeah,
shoulder.
he wore
I am
it
thinking
over
of Quail
his
Man.
shorts,
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. My
I'm always
reference was
thinking about
correct.
Quail Man.
I know you are. That's why I brought it up. I'm like,
I appreciate
Mike's got me here. If no one's got me, Mike's got me. I think someone mentioned that might be like a teapot and a cup of tea. I need to look on Manga Plus because it allows you, I think, to zoom in a little closer. But I don't know if that's true or not.
No, it looks like it's part of his clothes.
All those people who ship Usopp and Frankie together, you got that. I assume there are people.
Gotta wait for the next.
Yeah,
video
yeah,
to
we
find
Thunderdome.
that out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that would be a good. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
sure
think
we'll learn.
I think this is super cool, and I think he really improved upon the original prompt. To be honest, because I like the racing with flying fish over water. That's, I think, very clever.
You know
it's
what?
Fun.
I would have pivoted here too because I hate drawing cars.
You know what? I bet you Oda feels the
Yeah.
same way because I remember him talking to
About
Toriyama about like,
yeah.
yeah.
The
Here's
process video is really cool too.
Mm-hmm.
On
Yeah.
this one,
Oh.
I know Joey shared it this morning.
Yeah, it's also on our Blue Sky, which is just One Piece podcast. You don't have to write Bluesky, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Steve, what's going on the first page of the chapter?
All right. Well, this chapter is 1,143 Holy Nights. I think Zach might have mentioned that at the start. But we have a wide shot here from outside of the Owl Library as these strange drawings are attacking. We see Saul here running alongside these sleepwalking children, and he's like, "Hey, wait, y'all!" And we get Ilva, Mag, Ronja,
Yeah.
Hubert.
Oh God,
Uh,
I knew where that was going.
Ilva.
Hey kids, we're eating tonight.
Ilva, that's Thorfinn's sister from Vinland Saga.
okay.
That is also her name.
Yeah. And Ranya is from a children's story by Astrid Lindgren, who wrote Pippi Longstocking, also turned into an anime series 10 years ago by Goro Miyazaki.
Yes.
Poor Goro.
Yeah. Hayao's favorite son.
Does he have any other sons?
And we see that there's something dividing Saul and the children here, but he says like, "Wow, they're really sleepwalking," and he's like catching his breath, trying to catch up with them. And he's looking at this little divider here. He says like, "What's with this white cloth? What are y'all going? Where are y'all going?"
By the way, this was in last. I just want to note that this was in
It was the
last
arrow,
week's chapter.
yeah.
Is the arrow? Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
For those who listening who forgot, I know Steve. I know you read the manga. Do not worry.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I should mention that Robin and Chopper here are riding in his beard. And Robin yells out, "Be careful!" You know, like the three birds Peter Griffin was raising. She yells out, "Be careful, Saul! Remember, the other teacher said not to touch the children." And Chopper's
Sound
like,
advice.
Yes. And Chopper adds, "And he was all bloody."
I want to taste blood.
And Saul says, "I know he did, but I don't see nothing wrong with him. It's dangerous for him to keep walking like this." And we just start to see his little hand. Oh, he's got a big hand. His hands start to move as we go to the next page.
Ed.
Yeah. And he starts sort of ushering them. "Come on, let's get back to school." And then he screams out in pain. "Yeah." And I'm not sure who's saying this, but they say, "What was that? What was that, Saul? What happened? Did something stab you?"
I'm assuming Chopper and Robin from the beard. To be fair, not the first. Yeah, it's not immediately obvious.
So yeah, because he tries to usher the children, and they're sort of being surrounded by thorn vines, and we guess we hear over looks to be a transponder snail. It says, "This is the Walrus School." We hear, "All the children have suddenly fallen asleep, and out of those, 9 of them have started walking. We don't know where they're going." And now in the Western Village, we hear it continue. It said, "It's not clear why or how this is happening." And we overhear some giants talking. "The kids at the school, my son's there too." And also over the transponder snail we hear, "There's also been a surge of strange monsters from the forest." "Monsters? Are the children safe?" "The children are traveling down branch route B, or 8 at the moment."
8.
Yes. And we see that this is a transponder pill bug that only works in Elbaf.
That's the same size as Jimbei. Well, bigger. Yeah.
You gotta get a Pillbug SIM card if you want to be able to use your transponder snails in LBAF.
Sort of, it's kind of a PA system, basically. And we hear, "There's a fire too. What's with all this sudden danger? Did something happen back at the school?"
It's kind of funny how, like, every time Oda introduces a new variant on transponder snails, like, they usually serve a purpose, or like there's some reason they have some capability that we haven't seen before. This time it's just like, oh no, this is just we just use these in Elbaf. There's nothing different. It's just a pill bug instead of a
big bug.
Wasn't there something similar in Dressrosa where it had like a limit? I think it was more like story reasons, like, okay, they can't communicate easily with beyond that island because A and B are going to happen and we can't tell C, D, and E. Right. It feels very like, okay, I'm introducing this weird thing here.
Yeah, he gave him a name. So the classic transponder snail is, of course, the Denden Mushi, which is like it's a pun based on the one of the traditional words for snail in Japanese, but in One Piece the kanji means like electronic transmission snail. And this one he called Dengomushi instead. And that would mean like electronic speak insect instead. But it is Dengomushi is very close to Dangomushi, which is what they call roly-polies or pill bugs. So that's kind of,
and you can see
where
he's got the armor like a pill bug.
Yeah, he's got the little roly sections there, which is
Dangomushi. That is super cute.
Dangomushi. Yeah, so it basically dumpling bugs.
I was going to say they're not pill bugs. They're they're dumpling bugs.
Yeah.
That's very funny. I also just want to add that it is notable that Nami is the one concerned about the children. Won't somebody please think of the children?
Of all the danger, yeah.
Stephen.
And so now we see someone has climbed up to the top of one of those buildings in the village and is looking over at the progress of the fire. And he's saying, "Did you say branch 8? Now, if he was from Southwest Elbaf, he would say the 8, but here they just say branch 8.
Boo! Boo! LA jokes on this podcast.
And if he was in Whole Cake Island, he'd be saying the Brulee 8.
I don't like any of this.
But yeah, he's on the lookout. He's like, it's not looking good over there, which is fun. And then we get to the revelers in the party led by Chief Jarl, who is also has his tongue stuck out. He must be related to Loki. Well, he probably is in some way. But he's like, "Oh no, that's the school where my granddaughter's granddaughter Ylva goes." And the people are like, "How many generations is that?" And I'll let you know here that what he actually says in Japanese is a term. The word is yashago, but it's a term, like an obscure term for, your great great grandchild. And then they're like, "What's a yashago?" So, it's sort of like, a language joke that is derived from the fact that he's so old that he uses a term no one else would ever have to use. But I was looking around and I was like, man, is there some like obscure English term for, a great great grandchild? And I couldn't find anything like that. So that's why I had to kind of adapt it into something else. But clearly, yes, they are in no states to react and respond to an emergency. So Nami is trying to cut them off. "I think you've all had enough to drink now." And Brooke, who is he's still mounted to his crotch, is carrying on. He's like,
excellent. I can't wait for Ian to do this. He'll do it.
He's giving himself head.
There's a lot. I'm not writing that. Do I write that down? I don't think I write that down.
No.
Yeah, you should get it together.
And his tongue is also sticking out, so he could potentially be related to Loki as well.
That's true. Tongue.
Are you sure that's his tongue?
I sure hope so.
Thank God he's only nothing but bones.
And meanwhile, we hear a siren. Clang, 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 clang. As one of the Svar ships takes off and the people are cheering, and we see the guys in their horned firefighting helmets and brandishing. One guy's brandishing an axe, and they're like, "The firefighting Svar is on the case," and they're like, "You've got this, firefighters. We're counting on you." And I do feel like this depiction of firefighters is similar to the one that we saw in Wano, where like
it's very Edo era.
Yes, exactly. Like very high strung, like excitable firefighters, which is kind of funny.
By the way, this would have been my son's favorite chapter if not for what immediately follows, because this is what he does around my house all day, every day.
Fighting fires?
Yeah. Emergencies.
I did see a really great philosophical tweet that was like, "What did our toddlers do before the invention of trucks?" And I honestly, I had no answer to that question.
Absolutely baffling. I don't. Sirens. I mean,
what the hell?
There's also like a thing where for Halloween, every boy is always going to be dressed as a fire. Like I don't understand where that comes from. But I wonder if that's
It's
the case in
heroic.
Japan if they're
I mean,
all
it is
excited.
kind
I
of
think so.
heroic.
Yeah.
It is
It's
heroic,
heroic without,
Yeah.
without
requiring
without being too
monsters and
problematic.
swords. Yeah.
Yeah.
politicized.
Yeah, firefighters just are just that. They're just heroic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of
So-
something problematic.
The firefighters.
Yeah.
There they go.
Yeah.
They are flying off to save the day. They're going to put out that big old fire on the horizon, and then this random guy who looks a little bit like an injured old man in the woods says, "Huh? What's that?" As they see what appears to be, oh no, it's one of the weird dream monsters is rising up, and we see that it is a skeletal warrior, and he's got like, I can tell if those are, I mean, I guess those are the ghostly flames. It's not the actual flame behind him. And the guy's like, huh? And then it just gets up and like a basketball center, just blocks the
Back to sports
the spar.
here.
Yeah, it's Dikembe
Yep.
Mutombo.
Yeah,
Not in my
and
house.
then he shakes it. He waggles his finger. And everybody back at the party is like, "Whoa!" As the Viking Gashadokuro has come up and thwarted their attempt to put out the fire. Seems
Who
bad.
helped more? Who helped more? The fighting, the firefighting Spar crew, or the clicking claw force?
Ooh,
We don't.
they have a cool ship though. I like it.
Yeah,
It's
they're still
probably-
airborne. They're still good.
and they're airborne.
Yeah, I don't think the kicking claw force even moved from their spot.
No, I think they immediately got their ass kicked. At least
They were literally window dressing.
It's like-
there's momentum.
It's like we could confirm that Sir Crocodile has a devil fruit, and Vivi and Chuck are like, we know that.
By the way, they didn't get an Oda box though. These firefighters, the Kick and Claw Force did get an Oda box.
Yeah, the manga moved a lot slower back then.
Yeah, I know. By the way, I mean, like this feels like amazing drawing for like a 9-year-old. But you know,
Yeah. I just love
Yeah,
that.
kids got talent.
Otis
No,
like,
yeah.
shit, I got 2 extra pages. What do? I'll introduce some characters.
that's Oda. That's our Oda. Cue music for sitcom. That was the end of the page, right?
Yes.
Mike.
All right, next page. We're back, and we see Saint Summers is chowing down, and he goes, "You see how shocked those giants were when they got stabbed by the thorns? Oh, it's just like the famous saying: every love has its thorns." Never heard of it. Clink. Gah! You're so apathetic, Gunko. You know that? Love is the passion to reach out and squeeze someone tight, even as you see the thorns up close. The best part of this game is when it's parents and children. Clink, as they continue eating. Parents hug the kids tight, thorns and all, and then the kids scream and wail when they see their worst nightmare, mommy and daddy dying in agony. There's real emotion in killing. And we get an Oda box that says, Saint Summers, thorn fruit. He's a thorn man. And he continues to chow down. Death by love. Isn't that just so exciting? And Gunku is not responding. And he falls back. No interest! The woman who never knew love. And then what is... I forgot this guy's name.
This is
Killingham.
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 And Killingham, we cut to him now. Which route did you choose, Gunko? There was a thick branch that ran down the middle. And Gunko munches, and we see a map of the Walrus School, the Owl Library, Western Village, and the port. And Gunko says, if they walk straight that way, they'll reach the village's sea clouds. The middle one's good, stands out better, makes the utter futility all the more apparent, says St. Summers. Summers, I need a bit more salt. Salt! And he thinks about salt.
Alex.
There's also like a little wom like
Oh yeah.
ray,
yeah.
which
Thank
assuming coming from Killingham, who right now we see Summers is he's got a snot bubble. He's sleeping, and his dream has been manifested into like his little thought bubble dream is something that Killingham can reach out and grab something from, and he's sort of like rustling around in there, and he goes, "Ooh, Aspatch rock salt, gourmet stuff." And we get a note box: Saint Killingham, dragon fruit, mythical type, model Kirin, dream manifesting man.
Yes, Gillingham Ichiban.
So I want to do a quick sidebar here. Is there anything like that correlates Kirin to manifesting the dreams of people?
I don't just know either.
An ass pull, because
I don't know. If you drink too many Kirins, you see just like a bunch of dragons. Like
maybe elephants. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Actually, maybe that's the connection there, because the only thing I know about Kirin is that they're like a good omen type creature.
I want to say maybe I saw something where like Kirin, the beer brand, had done like
I saw that.
Like an ad campaign about like having good dreams or something like that. I'm not sure. I didn't actually look into that, so I don't want to pass off bad information, but
well, if
it could be something like that.
If it's based off of a commercial, I think that would be super funny.
By the way, I'm looking at the One Piece wiki for answers on this. I just love the way that this fact is worded. Killingham's Kirin transformation heavily resembles the Kirin featured on the logo of Kirin beer, which Oda has admitted to enjoying. I just very much enjoy it.
Fine, twist my arm. I love all monkey buns.
Under duress, yeah.
This very good beer. I enjoy it. Yeah, it. I'll look around more, but I that's the only thing I saw. The thing Steven mentioned, which I could totally see. I mean, that makes sense. But
sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now it's sort of confirmed that this is a devil fruit, and he isn't just some sort of weird.
It's not
dragon.
sort of confirmed; it's legitimately confirmed in that Oda.
Okay, it's legitimately confirmed that this is a celestial dragon who wants to just walk around as a regular old dragon. Anyway, sidebar finished. You can wake up now, Killingham says as he pulls out a pile of rock salt. And Summers wakes up with a snork, and he says, "What about the sleep dids you pulled out of those Brett's dreams?" And I guess that's a playoff of cryptid, Steven?
Oh yeah, this is a really fun one. So I want to ask first to everybody on this call: is there anyone who is familiar with a term? It's a Japanese derived term, Yuma or UMA. You ever heard that before?
I've heard UMA, like UMA, right? Like a cow?
Like German.
Yeah, that would be an ushi.
Then what's...
UMA is a term, it is a cousin term to UFO or UFO that stands for unidentified mystery animal or mysterious animal. And that is basically their term for what we today would call a cryptid. So like a chupacabra is an UMA.
Or a jackalope.
Jackalope is an UMA. The Yeti, Bigfoot.
Escalax.
And so what Oda used here, which I don't know if this is like Summers just making up, like he's just riffing and coming up with this off the dome, or if this is like the actual official term of what
even if it was the official,
well, him and Gillingham have obviously worked together before, so
yeah,
he's had to think about it.
But yeah, he calls them. It's spelled MMAs instead of UMAs, and it's pronounced Muma. And the reason that works is because Mu is one of the other ways to read the kanji for Yume or dream. So he's basically like dream mystery animals is the reference there. So yeah, so I basically just came up with my own portmanteau of something with cryptid, dream, like a dream cryptid, or I went with sleeptid because it actually it ends with a P, so that makes the cryptid connection a little easier to notice. But that one was super fun. I was really tickled when I saw that from Oda.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really fun one. Isn't Uma something? Is it horse?
Uma is horse, yeah.
Okay, shit. I got my farm animals mixed up.
And that is also why they call her Yuma Thurman in Japanese. They don't call her Uma Thurman because it just sounds like a really mean thing to say.
Oh, that's funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really
quick sidebar. That's why in Greece they call Charlton Heston Charlton Easton, because Heston means to shit oneself.
Oh, cool. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Like
now I know how to say
They were ahead
that.
of the curve. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
hezi, that's the verb. It's fun.
From my cold dead hands.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
how
funny.
appropriate. Yeah.
That's like the same exact thing.
Get your damn poopy drawers
So anyway, he asks about the sleeptids, and Killingham says, I can keep them going at the same time, of course. Hey, this salt goes perfectly with the meal. And Gunko says, I'll try some too. And I suppose this is Killingham. Anyway, speaking of the giant boats in the village, apparently they draw rainbows in the sky with those painter rocks. And after taking a bite, we see Gunko's expression finally change.
How did she
She's
take a
very
bite?
impressed. I don't know. It's magic. She eats with her
Through the
heart.
bandages.
Yeah.
Maybe literally.
Yeah. Real unique culture they've got. So all we have to do is take one of those to return to the Holy Land. And Summers is shocked and goes, we've basically won already. It's too easy. This is a baby game for babies. I really appreciated that.
That's a really good line.
In particular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gunko says, I'm very full now. And all this, 0 calories? And like a commercial, Killingham looks into the camera and says, well, it's dream food, so 0 energy too, ha. And Gunko says, don't worry, Summers. There will be trouble. I saw a pirate ship moored on the sea clouds of the village. The Emperor of the Sea, Straw Hat Luffy, is here. And we get an interrobang. Love those. And we see that the kids are walking towards the fire there, following Gunko's arrow. And I believe this is Summers saying, huh? The kids are walking right towards the fire. And somebody says, see, you didn't expect this. Not to worry. If they die, we can send more. So,
Yeah, shouldn't be preemptively killing the hostages.
well, they've got nowhere to be
It's a
very
game.
clearly.
Yeah. Should we talk a little bit about this scene now that it's wrapped? And this feels like such old school One Piece. This whole
This is very Mr. 3 having tea with Miss
Or
Valentine and
Ennius-
Mr. 5.
Enies Lobby had a lot of this. I feel like the quirky villains having conversations in a relaxed way as terrible things happen.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that.
Me too.
It gives them a little bit more dimension.
Yeah.
It shows that evil people could also be doofuses. I did very much enjoy this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually really upset that Oda's making me really like these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could be entertained by them, but also
I think they have really
want
cool
them-
designs too.
Yeah, I think I do really enjoy Killingham's particularly.
I think to me it just bodes like really well for like
yeah.
fights to come along with these guys, especially with like main crew,
Oh, yeah.
because us getting like any form of investment in them is good.
Yeah, personality goes a long way during a fight too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hint Dressrosa. Well, actually, Dressrosa had a little of that, but too
really
much
like-
of that, maybe.
I really like that Killingham wears like the standard issue helmet, but because his Kieran form has a big long snout, he has to attach like the extra breather on the end
Yeah.
because it wouldn't fit otherwise. I think that's really funny.
His design's really fun.
Yeah.
I like how you just can't get a bigger bubble.
Kind of looks like a toxic seahorse from Mega Man X3.
How does the bubble work outside that whole area, though? Doesn't that only... You know what? Let's move on.
Yeah.
What's
All right,
up,
and we will move on to the other scene of this chapter, where we go down the tree to the scene with Loki, where of course Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, and then all of Hyruden's crew are there, and they're shouting, "Damn you, Loki!" And he says, "Go on, Hyruden, try and stop me." And we see him very high shot here, looking downward at Loki, who is holding his hammer Ragnir with both hands, and he's crackling with electricity. There's what appears to be, a bunch of blood stains from his wounds on the snow around him, and he's saying, "But no, you can't possibly stop me. You can't even lift Ragnir." And Gerd is worried about the bolt of lightning that he just set off. She's like, I just hope no one gets hurt in the sun world. And Loki says, "They will. The flames will only spread further. So make your choice. Will you undo the last cuff and free me?" And he's taking too long to say the rest of his lines. So Sanji and Luffy start talking to each other. It's kind of rude. And Sanji's like, "Who's this enormous giant anyways?" And Luffy's like, "He was really badly injured, so I wanted to help him." And then Loki finally composes himself and says, "Or will you all choose death? I'll only keep taking the lives of those weaklings in the sun world if you don't answer me." And Hyruden's crew is freaking out. We see, Stanson looks worried. Roto's got his hands up like, "Ah!" And Hyruden holds out his hand. He's like, wait, all right." And Loki grins to himself like, "Aha, I've got it." He's listening now. And Zoro says, "Don't get suckered in, Hyruden." He's like, "Oh, Roto or Zoro." And Luffy says, "I guess I got to do it. If he can move, I'll stop him. That was the deal." So Luffy's going to take responsibility for the choice to free Loki here. He's going to fight him.
But Hyruden exclaims, "Wait, I don't know what rubber is, and Straw Hat, he'll electrocute you if you get too close." And Loki says, "Very well then, I hear your answer." And Gerd is like, "Stop this, Loki. If you hit the children, there's no turning back." I guess with the flames, the lightning is specifically what she's referring to there. And Zoro, with his stupid goggles, did I mention, says, "Make sure you go easy on him, Luffy, or his wounds will get worse." Luffy, not really responding to that, says, "Gum gum." And Loki, who presumably has seen how this played out already, says, "I guess I've lost this one." So it makes me wonder, is he just giving up at this point? I'm like, is he literally just sitting down like, okay. Oh, right, because he was bluffing. It's not even like a future sight thing. Yeah. He'd be a not great poker player. As he looks like he's beginning to collapse, and Hyruden and freaking Roto are shocked as Loki falls to the ground with not even so much as a little whoop punch from Luffy here. And boy, is he large.
So he literally
purple.
just inflated his arm like a balloon and kind of bopped him.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Because that Gum Gum Balloon isn't normally an attack.
He gave him a sock and bopper.
No,
Yeah.
it's a gum
Hi,
gum
I'm Bappa.
boop. It's a gum gum boop. Like just a little.
I read it as he's not even like hitting him, and he just falls over, and then the arm deflates. But it could be whatever.
Yeah, I think it could be either way.
Because usually balloon is more like a defensive thing, like he blows himself up to bounce a cannonball.
Yeah,
or it's not like pistol or something.
Or
else,
when he uses it as an attack, it's what, bone balloon or muscle balloon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gear 3 style.
Gear 3 or Gear 4?
Yeah, what's an arm balloon? Like, I guess that's like not even a gear version. I guess that's just like
it was
Somebody
just an
said
arm.
it, a sock and bopper.
it's putting the balloon in his arm.
The arm version.
It's more.
One.
It's more fun than a pillow fight.
You said Loki would not be a good poker player, but I don't know. If I was playing Loki, I would be like leaning over, like, "Hey, what does it mean when he sticks his tongue out? What is that? What emotion is that?"
It just means he's related to Doflamingo, Stephen.
His eyes are bandaged up, so
Yeah,
That's true.
No
You can
tell.
never read him. That's not like it's been like that his whole life. Steve, what's next?
Time has passed, and Zoro says he really was at death's door already, and maybe this is Luffy saying he was summoning all the strength he had left on a gamble. If his bluff had worked, he would have escaped so that he could collapse somewhere in secret. Yeah, I don't know. Oda, I don't know who's talking here. Maybe this is Zoro saying, I just can't imagine that working based on the amount of blood he'd lost. And then he says, hey, it's up to you whether you want to heal him or let him die. And then the most jank ass Luffy I've seen in a while says, I had business with Loki too, but he had to wait when I saw how bloody he was. But I had to wait to see when I saw how bloody he was. Yeah, I don't know.
He's got a little frog mouth there. Yeah.
Yeah. Frog mouth, teeth are warped, eyes.
I like it.
It's cute. I don't know if it was supposed to be cute, but.
And Rodo here says, it is true, whoever attempted to kill Loki, it is a separate incident from the matter of his own crimes. And then he says quietly, and I think I might know who it was. And then Luffy yells, please, Howardin, help him out a little. I don't want him to die, no matter who he is. And Howardin just looks down. Or, he doesn't actually make the sound. He just like, the choice to not say anything is apparent by his 3 dots here, ellipses. More time has passed, and Gerd here found a bunch of packets of blood to, they just have those laying around. I'm sure. I guess they went back into town or something. And Gerd is probably responding to like a question, and she's saying, until he's fully healed, it'll probably take months. And she continues as we see they now have him laying down, hooked up to some blood bags, his hammer's to the side. His feet are rested on logs, and I'm getting vibes from, I think Steven knows what I'm talking about here. Misery? I don't know.
I was just thinking like he's getting his effing blood here.
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
His they have to elevate his feet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex.
That's a medical thing. Yeah.
Does that say whole blood or whale
never mind.
blood?
He's just resting on logs, so never mind. But I think you do have to elevate feet.
It's all logs.
Oh no! It's woke blood. Oh my god!
Oh, that's what it is.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
I thought it was whale blood, but which fits the
Loki's already got purple hair.
Yeah. I'm gonna mute here. I'm gonna go look to see if I can get the high res. See if I can see what it says.
Okay.
Sure. It does kind of look like it says that.
Which woke?
Yeah,
woke
or
blood.
Whole blood. You know how you get
it looks like whole blood. Yeah,
there's like two.
like
there's
Whole
two.
Blood
Island.
There's 2% blood, skin blood.
Did you?
I
only recently found out. I only recently found out that whole milk is really just 3% because it's 3% fat in the milk.
I can't wait for that new campaign from the blood industry. Got blood, and it's everyone with blood mustaches.
Oh, big blood!
Hey,
big blood. Yeah, I don't know if I support big blood.
I know someone who would love that.
Oh, is it Count Dracula?
Yes.
Wait, will we find out in your really good post coming up?
No, there will be no talk about who enjoys blood in my really good post.
Actually,
really.
Speaking of Dracula, I actually saw a good idea for a couple's Halloween costume this year. That was Dr. Acula and Nurse Ferratu.
That's pretty funny.
That's pretty good. I bet I know who also likes blood. Nurse Ferratu.
I don't like
Count
any of this.
I think Count
should probably
Orlok
read
might
your
be
own list.
interested, but I think he wants a little bit more. He doesn't just
All
want
right.
blood.
I can confirm it does say whole blood.
Whole blood.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
Whole
what I
blood.
thought. Okay. Why?
Just like in Canada, it comes in bags.
Yeah. Wait, is Elbaf Canada? This whole time we thought it was freaking. Yeah. Steve, what else? Or was that it? Where were we on this page?
Yeah, some people are trying to put tariffs on the whole blood real soon.
Yeah.
so.
RFK doesn't want to pasteurize this blood.
Finally, we're back to, and Kurt says, if you really want to see him recover, you shouldn't leave him in a place like this. Also, don't leave him on a bunch of logs. But I guess maybe the cold snow would be worse. But she says, but if he's taken to the village, it'll only lead to more calls for execution. They'll kill him. And I think this is Luffy saying, like, they hate him that much. And maybe this is Gert saying, he's an irredeemable scumbag. Luffy kind of looks down here and says,
Might be Roto saying that.
oh, he shouldn't talk.
Yeah, I hope it's not Roto.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Hiruden probably saying that.
Fucking, he'll get struck by lightning if he keeps talking like that. Luffy says, these horns turn out to be real, huh? And we get this close up here of Loki sans his helmet because, as you could see, it's taken off in the previous panel.
They somehow were able to take it off.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's really annoying. And someone says this might be Gerdstall, and says they're a holdover of his ancient giant blood, just like his father Harold. And we see,
his
yeah,
father before.
if I could quote Yusuke Urameshi, he's like, that guy's got horns.
I like.
Not going to ruin my day.
I like this this panel of tiny Luffy sitting on his horn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That seems really painful.
Yeah, it seems unnecessary.
Yeah.
I also was the skin melding into the horns. That's a fun, creepy addition, potentially. Alex, what's going on at the end here?
Hiruden looks pensively as he has a little tiny flashback in his brain. It's King Harold talking to Loki, Lil Loki, and even Liler Hiruden. Duh. And he says,
You are my sons, and I love you both. I want you two to work together to support Elbaf after I'm gone.
Is that the devil?
Is that the devil?
Is that the devil? What was the line exactly?
That was Ed's
Yeah,
line.
that was my line.
Yeah, I thought that was yours. Yeah, I thought that was yours.
Yeah.
Those bastards laid claim to everything we hold dear.
We have to offer him more.
There you go.
we need to offer him.
No, I don't care. It's my line. I could say whatever the hell I want.
Anyways, we flash forward to some time later where I guess this is during a battle and Loki is, doing pretty well and Hiruden's not. And he goes, I can't believe this tiny weakling is supposed to be my big brother. You're just a bastard. You're not our father's legitimate son. Hear that, Hiruden? Your mother had filthy blood in her veins. Loki was here. Hiruden's a loser.
Oh, that Loki.
That's
So,
a familiar picture of Hiruden there.
yeah. So this is a really awesome panel of Loki in the foreground, sort of shadowed a little bit, and Hiruden sort of holding up his axe, figuring out what to do with it. And he just kind of goes for it. Rhoda goes, yeah, wait. And was that Goldberg? Not Goldberg, the other one. Stanson says, don't lose control, Hiruden. And Hiruden says, I never forgive him for what he did. He insulted my mother. It killed my father. And Loki says, go on and do it, you sad little berserker. Or perhaps instead of indulging in your petty personal drama, take a look at the woods around us.
They all say I went and killed Dad with pure murder in my heart. But you don't believe that, do you? Dun.
Uh-oh.
It was actually Sunday. Father wasn't in the office building that day.
And that does it for 11:43. We are back next week.
Yes.
So don't worry. Alex, I'm going to start with you. What did you think of the chapter this week?
I thought it was great. I thought that it was very economical as far as reveals and moving things along goes. I think there's been some criticism as of late, and my cousin from Greece, who I saw this week, who is following the manga, and has been for a while. I asked him like, "Oh, what do you think of Elbaf so far?" And he goes, "I think they're moving it too quick. Like everything it feels like he's rushing a little bit." And that might be the case, but I think it's for the best. I feel like we still have a lot to get through until the end of the series. And if he's economical about this and doesn't devote an entire chapter to, for example, these, nightmare beasts, these sleeptids running around and like not much happening, then I'm all for that stuff happening sort of in the background. Like I said earlier, I think these Holy Knight characters are more fun than they ought to be. I have ideas for fight matchups. I mean, I initially thought that Killingham is going to fight Zoro anyway because Zoro has experience fighting Kirin. See Kaku. And I think Summers, with his several mentions of love and emotion, and he says love so many times that I'm like, oh, this guy has got to fight Sanji. There's no way around that. That'll be pretty fun. And Gunko, whose worst fear is Nika, will probably end up fighting Luffy, and I'm guessing that the rest of the crew will probably fight these giant monsters. Steven, you and Greg were talking about Usopp in a recent SGS, and now that we know that Ragnar is a giant hammer, I do hope that Usopp, there's something Usopp related with that. But I do worry that Oda will sort of brush that aside, and it'll be like a Luffy thing. But
because Usopp used the fake giant hammer in Thriller Bark, right?
Yeah, the 10-ton hammer.
And
I do
Alabasta.
wonder how-
Alabasta.
Yeah.
Well, that was 5-ton in Alabasta.
One of them was just two cooking pans.
Yeah,
I think they
that was
both
the
were.
5-ton. No, the other one was a balloon.
Yeah.
It was like a big
okay.
balloon.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
I wonder how many. I wonder how many tons this hammer is. It seems superfluous, but I'm. This is what I'm interested in, and I think we've talked about this entire arc, but Loki not really killing Harold, or maybe having the reason or a reason of malice behind it. That's something we've been sort of spitballing all this time, and if that's the case, then I'm glad that we're sort of getting around to it versus beating around the bush.
And getting into the drama between Hyruden and Loki is that's interesting to me, at least. It's
yeah. So I thought it was a really great chapter. I'm really loving. I'm loving at the pace it's going, and some fun art.
And Steven, I think you were referencing that the little Hyruden looks like the Hyruden, I think maybe from an SBS.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The childhood
Kid
version.
Hyruden.
Mhm.
Yeah, almost the same pose. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, the firefighting Sfar, super funny. Just the rebound from the giant skeleton. I just love a dialogueless panel. Like that.
Yeah. Does anyone else
super
Did
fun.
anyone else see this? There's those, there used to be anime short film anthology movies that came out, and one of them had one that was about competing firefighting crews in Edo era Japan.
Mm.
Interesting.
It's kind of like other movies that are like Robot Carnival.
Oh, so like a compilation.
Yeah, compilation of shorts like Genius Party or Robot Carnival. And one of them, I forget what movie it was. Maybe it was the one called Short Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
I'll have
think.
to look into that.
Yeah, that's a Sentai disc that came out a while back.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's it for me. Let's keep it going, Oda. This is great.
Mike, what did you
I had a
think
good
of this
time
one?
with this one. I had a good time with this one. I also have not had a problem with the pacing.
I don't have a problem with the pacing. I have a problem following the action a lot these days, especially reading on the app.
I'll tell you what, I get that too, because I had that today going on that page with the sock and bopper. Couldn't tell whether he hit him or not. But yeah, no, I had a good time with this chapter. I think what I really liked about it was just, I love that we're getting characterization of the Holy Knights. And I also like that they're, I was worried that the Holy Knights were going to be, like, a little more serious, maybe a little more darker than some other stuff that we've seen, but then we get, they're goofy, and I like that. I'm also looking forward to going into this Loki and Herjin backstory. I want to see what happened. But yeah, no, I had a good time. I yield my time.
Steven.
I thought this was a great chapter. I'm one of the people who has been a little critical of, I guess, kind of, I would say, frenetic pacing, or he's trying to make you as confused as possible to help simulate the panic of the situation, because obviously there's a lot of bad stuff that's happening right now, kind of all together as one, and it's meant to be particularly challenging to the characters. So he is kind of giving us, the readers, a bit of that as well. But I thought this was a great chapter that, laid out a lot of just straightforward answers. We get to see what the powers are that the other knights have. And it all makes sense. It helps make more sense of the previous chapters, and see a lot of those little foreshadowing bits as the hints that they are meant to be. I had a lot of fun wordplay and stuff in it too. So I did have a lot of fun. And I really do. I like the drama between Loki and Hyruddin, because that too was something where, like, you could tell based on the facts that we had been given a while back that, like, there's got to be something going on between these two guys, because they are both, they're both described as like the son of the king. And now we finally get to see that, yeah, there is some bad blood in between them. But I really like the choice to have Loki, basically with the way that Oda panels the last page or two, Loki is saying, like, yeah, but you don't actually believe that I did this, and you don't believe that I'm the monster that they all say I am, do you? And even though we've just seen Hyruddin talking about the grudge that he bears, he's never forgiven Loki for what he did, he's also taken aback by this, because whether he realizes it or not, we don't know. We can't see inside Hyruddin's head, but we know from this interaction that he realizes Loki is telling the truth here, that it's not that, yeah, Loki probably didn't mean to do it, or whatever happened, it's not the way that people assume it is. And so I really like that kind of confrontation where you both get to see Hyruddin kind of getting something off of his chest. Like, he has in his mind, that's the narrative that he has gone with, because, he has a reason to be angry that his mother was insulted and, his father was murdered.
Yeah. I wonder what other giant nation his mother is actually from then.
Yeah, or if that is going to even matter at all,
Yeah.
or if it's just kind of a stand-in for, Giants got racism too. But it's a really good dramatic stuff, and I'm eager to find out the real story here.
I just remember that, like, I think when Saul was introduced, he seemed a little offended that people would think he was from Elbaf.
Right. Yeah. He
Yeah.
was like, no, we're not those warmongers. I'm from a different giant group. But
Yeah.
I mean, they seem to have accepted him here for now. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on under the surface in Elbaf. So yeah, it's really exciting stuff. It's really coming to a head. So I am eager to see what we're going to find out next.
Steve.
Yeah, this was a dense little chapter here. There was a lot to sink my teeth into. At first I was kind of like when we were with the knights and kind of just really squeezing the introduction to these devil fruit abilities into these small panels. I was like, is this cramming too much? But I think I kind of like what others have said about it being economical here with just the whole gimmick of them sitting around eating. It's a great way to show this happening without it just being like a character saying, this is my ability, this is what I do. I like the whole killing ham needs salt. So I think it's it was a really funny demonstration. The thorn fruit is still interesting. I kind of want to see exactly what that entails. The fact that he could create invisible thorns, or maybe that's with someone else's help. But different from, not to be confused with the spike fruit.
Someone was saying that Sanji might fight Summers, and if he does, maybe he can attack him with a marmot and threaten to cut off his Johnson.
Is that a reference?
That's from
That's
Big
Big
Lebowski.
Lebowski.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, when he's in the
I remember
bathtub
that.
and they throw a
Marmot.
Yeah. They throw him on the
yeah.
water. Yeah.
Oh, nice marmot. Actually, what is the Japanese term for his fruit, Stephen?
Bara?
It's the toge toge no mi.
Oh.
Wait, so-
toge
Wait, is it?
His is toge toge?
I thought that was Miss Doublefingers.
It
No,
is.
sorry, you're right. It's iba which is
Okay.
short for ibara, and that's another word for thorn.
Ah, okay. So Ed was almost correct.
Yeah.
But bara bara, that's
Buggy.
Buggies.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
isn't Ibarra the girl from My Hero Academia with the vines for hair?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Damn. We're
So there you
nailing
go.
it with
Language.
trivia today. But yeah, I think I think what was done, I think is, totally serviceable. I think rereading this chapter, I don't see much of a problem with it. I think there's still like some panels I'm not crazy about, like with Saul and the kids, because I wonder, like, is Saul like a smaller giant compared to like the warriors?
Oh yeah, because he's like, I think it's just
He's smaller than
Yeah.
Loki, I think.
For sure. He feels kind of small in like this on
You're
page
right.
4 here. I was just like, oh, I always thought he was bigger.
I also think, I don't know, he's been drawing Saul very oddly. I think in general, since Elbaf, but maybe it's just because I'm comparing it to his art from Enies Lobby. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I think Oda can be also influenced in like how he evolves the visuals of the characters based on who they're being compared to. So now that there's a bunch of other giants, Saul is relatively cuddly compared to the rest of them. So I think that's why maybe he's drawn him a little bit more like a Pound in terms of his proportions and stuff from Whole Cake Island. So I feel like that's a little bit of the process that's going on.
Gotcha. Well, I think this chapter also explains why Loki was chained up with Ragnir, because no one else could lift it. So that makes, I think that makes sense. That makes sense, right?
Well,
right.
even if no one else could lift it, can't they find some sort of giant crane to?
Yeah, they don't have any giant forklifts or anything like that.
Yeah, like let's just move it slightly away from him. It doesn't even
They
have to
don't
be
have-
like that far, just enough
They don't
that
have
he
the
can't
they
get.
don't have the budget.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued that even in this flashback here that that Loki's eyes are still bandaged up. What's up with that? What's up with that?
Is it at all possible that he's actually blind, or do we think there's just something? Is this a Doflamingo thing because he's already so similar.
I wonder if it has something to do with his devil fruit power that we still don't know about.
True.
Yeah.
Like long shot here is like, oh, is it covered up to nah, I think you see too much of his forehead in this. I'm like, oh, maybe he has a third eye. But,
What if he's got like Cyclops powers where just like rays come out of his eyes and they just can't stop?
Oh yeah, we haven't seen a Cyclops, have we? In One Piece?
I guess they're. Oh yeah, no. But he's referring to Cyclops as in optic.
Oh yeah, I know. But I got that after I said it.
Gene,
Yeah,
I know. Well, the thing though is that Cyclops has concussive optic blast. They're not like it's not like heat vision or anything. And I wonder if he has heat vision, which would make him a danger to himself and society, especially people living on a giant tree.
Ooh. That would explain why it's covered. Or if it's something where fire is involved, but he also doesn't seem to care about causing chaos. So I don't know. I mean, we don't know.
I found it interesting that Haruden is the younger brother, because if you do like the
no, he's the older brother, isn't he? Isn't that what they say?
So I can't believe this tiny weakling. It's supposed to be my big brother.
Right,
my mistake. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then scratch what I was going to say there.
Okay, I'll do that.
So seemingly, Haruden was born before Harold got married to Loki's mother.
Yes, that would be the suggestion, I think.
Yeah, well, Haruden was also alive during the Big Mom flashback, and Loki was just being born.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So we know he's 63, I think, is when that, which is very young for a giant. But like, what is that even? It's probably like 17, which sounds right. In Oda years, that sounds right. Steve, anything else?
No, I don't want to prattle on for too long, but just like some really interesting developments here. The villains are entertaining despite being total scumbags, but I'm really
they're weirdos. It's even worse.
They're big weirdos. It's just what I want in my One Piece villains. I want them to be weirdos. But very interesting developments here, and maybe my Herald theory might come true. Who knows?
Yes, King Harold's purple crayon will come to be. Sorry about that. Ed, your thoughts?
Overall, good chapter. I think as I said, the villains are being weirdos and they relate to each other in an interesting way. Like the way Summers is talking to Gunko, like sounds like he's maybe got a thing for her or something. I don't know. And very interesting interactions with Loki and Haruden, which is very interesting to me, which is going to make the arc more interesting if we get even more flashback of their childhood. So there's that. But ultimately, good chapter, even if I do have a hard time following chapters these days, especially reading on the app.
That it, Ed?
Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I don't have a ton to add, other than the one thing I'm interested to hear, like if anyone else has this opinion. I feel like we're getting a flashback soon with these two characters, Haruden and Loki.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of the MO generally with Oda flashbacks, especially when they aren't for major characters, is that you get a little glimpse of it and then either a chapter or a few chapters later you dive in. I don't think it would be a very long one, but I think we already have the setup with Harold being traitorous, potentially, in my point of view, very likely. And I think it's something that Oda would story-wise, like for the reader, would have to reveal sooner rather than later, because it's something that will be probably discussed amongst the Holy Knights or in some regard in the story, because it feels important to the crux of what's happening here, particularly with Loki. And I think Steven or Alex mentioned this too. I think the pace of it is generally benefiting the story because we're not dilly-dallying around things that are kind of obvious on their face. Like Loki isn't what he seems in a good way for him. Like he probably has much more positive characteristics than what did Hiruden call him? The irredeemable scumbag. You know, I don't think there are very few people in One Piece that you could describe accurately with irredeemable scumbag, because Oda makes it, even like the worst people, somehow somewhat redeemable in the eyes of the story, even if not just subjectively, at least objectively in the story, you know, lifts them up a little. And I don't think Loki's going to be an exception to that. Obviously, the Celestial Dragons are a big exception to that. I think we also talked a little bit about the racism and the different giants. I think that's something story-wise that should and almost has to be, you know, more of a discussion point in this story, because I think because the dynamic between Hiruden and Loki revolves around that, and the ancient giant thing and the horn and Harold pulling out his horns at some point after this, all very, very interesting stuff that I think you need to talk about the different types of giants and why they diverged. And I think the mural, once again, could, you know, kind of hint to the reasoning behind it. I'll mention this every time. I am one episode of the SGS behind, but Stephen and Greg's discussion on dragons and how the celestial dragons are trying to emulate real ones. How many dragon fruit I mean, I guess all the dinosaurs were
the dinosaurs, yeah.
But those were ancient types. This was the first mythical type, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Killingham connection there, I love the design and all that on the surface level. But very interesting to me to get inside the psyche of the celestial dragons and maybe get at a little more of what happened back then. And then circling back to the very beginning, less important, I thought this was a really good chapter for humor. I thought the stuff I thought Summers, again, scumbag, you know, I mean, that's obvious, but really I thought this was an entertaining, and it's very funny that he was brought in on his sofa. He was sitting in a chair at the beginning, when he was looking at all the what were they called, sleepids, and now they have a dinner table that they're all sitting around for no reason in the middle of the forest. I think that is so, like, it feels very old school Oda, as I mentioned, which I love. And this character feels like he could have, like Gadatsu, almost like that kind of villain, or like not Mr. 3. I guess even like, you know, Bon Clay a little bit had that.
I love that he's
beginning.
very silly.
Yeah.
And it looks like, and he comes from like elder blood.
Yes.
And yeah, like the the fail son almost.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what happens to these characters. I'm sure they're scumbags. No doubt in my mind that they're scumbags. But they're entertaining scumbags so far, which is all you could really ask for in a story. Yeah. Gunko is the one I've been least sold on. I think Steven ruined her for me, the Soul Eater thing.
Yeah.
A little bit. And also the no pants thing is odd, as we mentioned, although she's sitting down here. I don't think there's any romantic connection here. I think it's more that this whole like melodrama of Sommers being like, come on, you have to understand that to love means to feel pain, and murder's just, that's the strongest emotion of them all. I think Mike did a very good job at
he's just one of those like oversharing people that it's just like constantly talking and like just won't shut up. And I think that Oda really nails that personality with him.
Yes. I mean, we've all met this person. I mean, it's yeah. And I think he very well done. But you know, I wouldn't want to hang out with this guy ever, but very entertaining in the manga. I don't know if I have anything else I want to say. Were there any other points that left on the table, so to speak? Any salt? Anyone brought salt?
No.
No.
I almost wondered a little bit with the salt thing. So like in Japanese. So like when we idiomatically, when we talk about salt or being salty in English, like nowadays, that's basically like you're upset, right? Like you're frustrated or whatever. Like don't get salty if something doesn't go your way. But in Japanese, salt is more like just harsh in general. I want to say there was like Oda did a joke with salt about Sicilian, like when he was introduced in
I think you're right.
in Zoe, when his whole thing was like he was just like super, like not nasty necessarily, but just like really kind of harsh towards everyone. And I almost wondered if like that was sort of Killingham's response to like him giving all these speeches about like agony and killing people and stuff. But then I was like, no, I think it's just more of a straightforward, like, think of a purple elephant and then, using that mental image to.
That's what we would take out of Steve's thought bubble right now, I think. A purple elephant. He's nodding.
I think about those constantly.
I assume that's just all you do.
Yeah.
That and
they are on parade.
Yeah. I'm also blackout drunk.
I was going to mention the salt connection. Also thriller bark. There's a lot of salt is a very important device, plot device, at least in the beginning of that arc.
And also in combating devil fruits, right?
Yeah, I guess sea salt. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've. Was that the reasoning behind how they got the shadows out, right?
Yeah.
It was reason.
Yeah. I don't think Oda's ever used that as like.
Well, salt doesn't just come from the sea; it comes from lots of places. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Although former seas, a lot of them. Anyway. We'll talk about the origin of salt next time. Let's take a little break and get into some Piece Together.
All right.
This is the Piece Together segment where we take your questions, comments, theories, and give them a little gum boop on the nose. Just a little one. Alex, what's our first segment?
Well, this is a segment that we all like to call Dis Piece. And our first Dis Piece comes from Felkstorm. He says, "Ahoy, OPP. I got a prediction for the end of the series once Luffy beats the world government, Blackbeard, and finds the One Piece. A new axis of evil will turn up consisting of Stelly, Wapol, Wanze, Satori, and Zombie Absalom."
Alex, I haven't heard a word you've said because you had a cat in front of you and you're playing an episode of Home Movies behind you on Zoom, and Steve has the original 35mm Dragon Ball Z intro going in the background. And also, Matt has the Lucille balls.
Hold on a second. Hey.
Sorry, Mike. Did I say that? Mike has the Lucille balls behind him from Rat Race, and just know all that's going on in the background.
Somebody screenshot this, please.
I'm going to right now. This will be on Patreon. You guys could all enjoy that. Oh my god, the cat with the okay. What the hell did they say? What was the question?
I said a new axis of evil will show up after One Piece ends.
Yeah, you know what?
Axis of evil is Stelly, Wapol, Wanze, Satori, and Zombie Absalom.
That's too many axes, but yes. What's the next question, Alex? Thank you for the love of God, Steve.
Yeah. That's it. Back to Winnipeg says...
Well, that's where we're going to get our bagged blood, so that's perfect.
Yeah. They say, "Oh, crap, we got a color spread instead of Yamato's cover story. The sooner Yamato finishes his cover story, the sooner he can come out of New Remember Limbo and join the rest of the Straw Hats." It's true. Mm-hmm. Anyways, here's a Yamato question to fill the void. Is Yamato going to save Ulti and the women who's who abducted and take them to his lair in the mountains like Odin and start another harem war? So speaking of harems, what do you think of Yamato's favorite harem animes would be?
There's a lot of questions there. Is it Yamato or Yamato? It's Yamato, isn't it?
Yamato.
Yamato, okay.
Whatever.
Yamato.
Well, I just hear people yelling. I just hear people yelling from the future.
That was already a potential episode.
I know.
Yeah, go
List
ahead.
some harem anime.
Yeah, am I looking this up?
Wait, isn't
and
there one
show-
that's like
and
Monster
show
Girls
your-
or something?
Show your age and name a harem anime.
Listener, all I'm
Tenchi-
gonna say is listen to your heart.
Ranma one half.
Muyo?
Battleship Yamato. It could be a harem anime if you, from a certain point of view.
Oh,
It's
here.
kind of a sausage fest.
Love Hina the Black Cage.
Nisekoi from Nisekoi.
Is Nisekoi?
Yeah, I'm looking at on that anime list, or my anime list, not that anime. To give that anime show.
Man, you guys remember Love Hina? Every once in a while, the
Yes.
opening will come up on my shuffle, and it just instantly my eyes roll in the back of my head, and I get transported like 20 years ago.
I only read some of the manga. I never checked out the anime. I thought the anime didn't have the same kind of appealing art style as the manga.
Have you ever
seeing-
listened to the opening? It's cracked out.
I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen any of these so far. I'm looking on this list.
I don't necessarily know it, but I believe when I worked at the movie theater, they would play the showings where everybody would go nuts in them. Am I thinking of something different?
I don't know.
They would
Maybe.
they would have like music, and they would have like those
Music?
big yeah, and they would have that stuff where I'm thinking of something else. Okay.
The only one I could think of is Tenchi, and yeah, that's it.
We're talking about harem anime. What did you think we were?
Hair
talking
anime,
Oh,
like Dragon
like
Ball
hair-
Z.
about? Hairspray. We're talking about hairspray.
that had to have been a showing of Hairspray. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Pecker.
You can't
I'll
stop
start
the beat.
naming other John Waters films. So
Aren't most like harem animes these days just
Isekai?
the isekais? Yeah.
Probably.
It's like, wow, I can't believe me, the best boy at video games, is surrounded by all these beautiful women.
And that's the title of the show. Alex,
True.
what's next?
The next one is someone who's very into Yellow Jackets. Shauna Shipman's DA. Slay. It's Slay. Y'all know Slay. Hello, my fellow firefighters. Man, what a chapter. All those monsters. So menacing. My question is, do you ever think about the level of sentience things like that have in the series? Whether it be those, Conjuro's creations, synthetic humans, etc. Do you think they'll have autonomy up to a point, but will ultimately be under their creator's control? Could they live their own lives with their own thoughts and feelings and grow? Have a great day.
This is a
I'm
science
not gonna fall
fiction
asleep
novel.
tonight.
God, I hope not, man.
Ryunosuke
I don't want that weight on me.
Ryunosuke obviously was a living being with feelings and emotion, and I miss him so much.
You know, I wondered about Ryunosuke because, Kanjuro was ultimately a piece of shit that we all hated. Do they have their creators vibe?
No.
No way.
No way. Ryunosuke was an angel.
Ryunosuke was a good boy.
Yeah,
They
no,
do not. They do
boy.
not carry down the sins of the father. They are
I was,
their own.
and more importantly,
Man.
you can't judge work by its creator.
Just you wait until Ryunosuke ends up being that cute duck that drinks a milkshake that everybody
Oh, you
really
mean
loves.
I love that guy.
milkshake duck?
Yeah, that's right.
Why? What happened to milkshake duck?
Yeah, what have they been getting into?
Where is
fine.
milkshake
It's
duck?
fine.
Is
We don't
he
need
safe?
to go into that.
We don't. We should Google it, though.
I refuse.
Hey, by the way, speaking of harem anime, Vegapunk's hairstylist says, "Hello, OPP. I'm sure it got addressed in the recap, but Summers has a line that had me cackling, but also saying, Summers is a BlueSky user in 2025, and it was the baby game for babies line. I was hoping for a translation explanation on this. Love y'all, love the show. Keep up the fantastic job."
Well, I guess it was a good thing I didn't mention that yet. Yeah, that was so the line that he says is what does he say? Let me get the page open. Yeah, so when he says we basically won already, it's too easy. So when Japanese people talk about video games, when you beat a game in Japan, the verb that they use is clear. It's like clearing a game. I cleared the game. I cleared the level or whatever. That's what they always say. So when they're like, "Oh yeah, all we have to do is take the painter rock, and then we can return to the whole. We can just make our own rainbow there." And he's like, "Oh, so we've already cleared it." He's like, "It's already clear. It's too easy." And then he calls it a nuruge. So if you are up on Japanese gaming stuff, you may have heard of the term kusoge before, which is like shit game. And it's basically just like any really crappy game It's called Kusoge. I know there's people that definitely are way into that and like finding videos of just like really horrible, primarily old games. But so there's a bunch of other terms that are sort of similar to that. Like a kamige is like it literally means God game, but that's like a masterpiece. I recently heard of Shinige, which would be like a dying game. That's what they call like Dark Souls games. So it's just a game where you die a lot. And so Nuruge is like lukewarm game. So it's basically just like it's way too easy, it's too soft. And so that was my version of that is baby game for babies.
It's fantastic. One of my favorite things to say ever.
It is.
So I was very tickled when I read
that. Was I did that line stuck out as one of my favorites from the chapter.
Mm.
Yeah. Reverse eye patch for eyes says, "Hey Opers, okie dokie. Loki has Loki been covering his eyes since he was a kid? That makes my heart go doki doki. So if you combine him and Gunko, you just have a mummy face with a nose. Do you think that maybe Loki has some ridiculous observation hockey due to his impossibly self-imposed blindness? Is that why he called Luffy? He called that Luffy would take him out with gear 3. Wait a second. He didn't say gear 3. Isn't this a second gear mistake in this arc? Boy, Oda better get his gears in order. Wow.
So I think we discussed that he didn't even like do anything, Luffy.
Yeah.
So I don't think he geared up at all.
It was a little love tap.
Yeah, just a little boop.
Mm-hmm.
A little boop.
A little boop.
I do like the notion that if you combine him and Gunko, you just have a mummy face with a nose.
Yeah.
That's excellent character design.
That is a really good character design. Yeah.
Easy to cosplay too. Straw Hat Rigby
A lot of bandages.
says, "Hey OPP," or toilet paper. "Hey OPP, since we've been on Elbaf, the actual scale of everything has sort of broken my brain. We know roughly how tall giants can get. We know Loki is Aura's size, and we've seen the giants walking in and around the building they have built, and we've seen how the scale of the actual tree just dwarfs everything on it, the aforementioned giants and their buildings. It makes me wonder how big the actual planet One Piece is set on is. Is the tree just protruding out into space like the tree in Dragon Ball Z, the Tree of Might? Or is the scale of the One Piece world such that it looks like a regular landmass? I know there's nothing really regular about OP, and Oda is not incredibly consistent with his scaling, but what we've seen in Elbaf, the scale of the tree and everything else seems relatively consistent. Any thoughts?"
I think.
Go for it.
I know giants and scale and all that, but it would have to be very, very tall for it to be seen from space.
Yeah, like
Right?
it would have to be insane. Like it would have to be the size of a country. Like not just it would have to be the
Like a
size of a country.
continent,
Yeah, well, not a continent. I'm just like trying to think on Earth. Like how large would something? How many miles? You could probably see like how many miles the atmosphere is, and that's how tall it would have to be. And I'm sure we're gonna have a V-Ray card or something one day that shows the height of that tree. It might even go into space in the One Piece world, like for Oda's canon, because the astral plane or whatever.
Yeah,
that
would be an interesting choice, but
Cool.
you know,
Yes.
with the way that it's shown, it doesn't seem like. I mean, I guess you would have to get up all the way up there to actually see like outer space and whatnot.
So it's 6,200 miles. And for me to get to LA, I think is less than that.
Wait, what is 60?
The atmosphere, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Context. So the height of the atmosphere, from surface to the top, which is, if it were to protrude into space, would have to be at least that tall. Miles from New York to LA, it's 24 or 45. So that's how tall it would. That's insane. It would not be that. Elbaf even stood on its. I mean, again, I don't think Oda and scaling is really a consistent thing, and we talked about it a little this week, and we've talked about it a lot. So we'll see. I mean, again, they come in on rainbows. I'm gonna be loose with my scientific gotcha. What's next, Alex?
You mean what's last? Yes,
Whoa.
this is the last one. And this is in reference to, by the way, the on the Atro staff account on Instagram and Twitter, the color spread video that shows the process. SNP says, "Hey OPP, what is it with Oda? He almost drew another giant Nami in the color spread again. Does he have a giant fetish?" Now, if you watch the video, literally like the first second or two, you do see a giant woman somewhere in there, and I wondered if it was Nami or maybe it was Shirahoshi.
I mean, let's be honest. He turned himself into a butt man for Egghead, so like he could absolutely be turning himself into a giantess man for Elbaf.
He has no shame about what he feels about things, and he makes them very obvious.
I appreciate that he's not only horny on main, but he likes to mix it up as to how horny he is on main.
It's like seasonal, you know. It's like the McRib.
Yeah, man, I thought the McRib went away. No, it's back again.
Giant Nami's back, yeah.
Yeah, let's get away from that and let's run away from Giant Nami and head over to Steven. Where are we going?
We will go to the oh god, what is it?
Really?
What is it called?
Really?
The subreddit archipelago.
Thank you. Jeez, you scared
I'm
me.
literally looking at it. Yeah, it's I was thinking of Blue Sky and Blue Skype and all that. No, we are on Reddit at reddit.com/r/One Piece podcast. Just a couple questions here. First one from Amiibo Hunter, who says, "Hey OPP, after the SGS and the fruit reveal, are there any plans to change Killingham's name to fit with the Kirin theme better? It's not like he knew what his fruit would be since birth when his parents named him, unless the celestial dragons have devil fruits planned out for certain families, etc., like passing down the family fruit." Boy,
I
I'm not gonna touch
do
that one.
I do hate. Oh, go ahead. You're still going. Sorry.
Am I the only one feeling underwhelmed by Somers' power? Thorns? I know Oda will find some cool creative ways to use it, but we've seen Luffy smash through Krieg's steel spike shield and use Haki to negate blades in the past, so I'm skeptical how much of a threat these three will be to the crew. Thank you all. As always, keep up the great work.
There's a few things. So, with the Killingham in the name, I always find it really annoying when the name of a person is the power that they have, because it does make no sense whatsoever. So I'm fine if it has nothing to do with it, but it does. It's a pun, and I think it's gettable if you.
That's basically what I said last week on the SGS, which I know you said you had not heard yet. So, because Greg had that opinion too. That he was like, why didn't you just call him Cunningham? And I said, well, I think it's going to sound and look better this way, and it doesn't necessarily negate the reference. There are some
Plus, you won't
things
get
like
sued.
I was going to say, like, Zoro's name is based partially on Francois Lolona, who is a French pirate, and that's not at all what his name is spelled like, but that is still part of the DNA of where his name came from.
Yeah.
So I don't think that like you have to have the thing named exactly after the other thing for it to still be a reference and to still be fun and have its own, sort of its own life and character of its own.
The other point, Stephen, about Summer's power being lame, I don't really think it's that important that these people are formidable. I mean, given Luffy's current status, I think it's just more the menace and like going on in the background, the stuff with the kids and like what is this bigger plot happening behind the scenes. And they're kind of just more agents of that.
Yeah, it's like, sure, they might not be formidable to him or like some of the crew, but to like regular people that are gonna be in trouble, like they're a
regular
huge
giants.
Yeah, I think thematically it works really well. Like, yeah, he was given the whole villain speech, his monologue this chapter, and I think that's a very effective kind of character building. So yeah, I don't look at it as like, oh no, guy number 4 on the, villain menagerie of this other group is not cool enough. That's not really a concern to me, but I think Oda can do some fun stuff with this that really makes this guy a bastard, and I think that's fun to see.
Agreed.
The other comment on Reddit is from LowAd8027. It says, "Hey OPP, I hate baseball." Well, I'm not going to read the rest of this comment then. No, I hate baseball, but I live in Seattle, thinking of taking one for the team so I can come back and report about my experience. But also the shirt looks kind of cool. Cheers. I am depressed, but you guys make me laugh and smile every week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
They always recommend One Piece podcast over therapy and prescription medication to everyone.
Yeah, it's cheaper.
Yeah. It's
for sure.
Yeah. Even if you're a Patreon subscriber. No, but seriously, thank you. I'm glad. I'm always happy to hear comments like that. I need to look up the Mariners shirt. Oh,
yeah.
baseball.
You know what always cheers me up? Going to see a game.
Sorry,
the big game.
Sorry, I stepped on your joke. God, it's just weird to go to MLB.com and see One Piece night. They could have done a Marines-based thing, and I think it would have been really fun with the Mariners.
Nah, they gotta go for mass appeal.
The shirt is okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you, Zach. I know you're clamoring for a Daryl Strawberry Vice Admiral jersey.
Daryl.
Oh
Daryl.
Shit! I am clamoring for that now. Oh.
Yeah, they don't. But
make with Daryl Strawberry with the.
Tall.
I was gonna say with the
they don't make them that tall.
Also, come on, Mets. What the fuck are you doing? Get a One Piece night going.
Can I talk about sports?
Again?
I saw like another stupid thing of people just like getting stupid and raging over.
Are you
it on,
fucking
like,
kidding
BlueSky. It was like apparently the New York Mets are selling a helmet full of hot dogs. And I take first of all,
that rules.
Oh,
no, hold on.
Is that what you're posting?
First of all, the bucket it was in didn't even actually look like a baseball helmet. And then I immediately look at the logo, and I'm like, I could tell none of you motherfuckers have ever watched a sport because that's not the New York Mets logo.
What was it?
It kind of looked like it, but then like it was an upside down N, and then there was like a whole nother letter or a shape in there. There was like an arrow in there, and I'm like,
oh, that's Nathan's, the New York hot dog.
It might be. Nathan's are fantastic.
but
Yeah.
They plump when you cook them. No, wait, that's Ballpark.
Yeah, Nathan's are the one with the crinkly fries. And they have to put the calories on these things, and now I know the fries are way worse than the hot dogs. For you. Anyway, any more subreddit?
That's all.
All right, so it's time we take a ride up the knock-up stream, get knocked up.
Let's get knocked up, yeah.
yeah.
Get up again and do some BlueSkyPia. BlueSkyPia is the hashtag we're using on BlueSky, the only social media website where I don't feel terrible about myself. Let's start. That's their motto. That's their motto.
Do you think that like there's a little there's a little phenomenon that happens right before the knock-up stream called the feel upstream?
First question comes from KKRP, who says, does anyone else get the feeling King Harold died because of Summers and his love equal death thorn powers? That line, parents hug their kids tight, thorns and all, seems like foreshadowing about how Loki killed his dad. Quote unquote, killed his dad. I kind of like the idea that it is foreshadowing.
I mean, I
don't know that it will be. But...
No, I don't think so either. But I do think that there's definitely an artful coincidence in placing that scene in this chapter where we are starting to find out more about Harold and his sons. So, but I don't know. I feel like they Oda would have let on a little bit more. There would have been some other foreshadowing thing if it was like, back here, that sort of thing.
Carlos says, hello there, OPP. A couple months back, Oda answered a series of lore questions. The first had to do with how Luffy is able to manifest stuff in Gear 5, with Oda saying that it was a gateway into Nika's fantasy. Could Killingham's power be related to Luffy Gear 5? I think I would add it maybe like in the same class, like in the same kind of genus as Luffy's the Nika
they're
for
both
your-
sleep dids. Yeah, I think that was in the that was the thing that they did in one or more issues when he was on break last time, and that's actually in volume 111. They did put that in the back of the volume, so that's fun. So we'll get to see that in the and that series of questions that he did about lore stuff. That doesn't have anything to do with the answer to this question, but I just wanted to point that out.
Any other comments? I think that's totally possible is my answer to that. Scott says, ahoy hoy OPP. What's under Loki's eye bandages? He's wearing them even in the flashback. Possible Cyclops. Hey, this could be either Cyclops. Again, is it the mythical one from Greek? Or which ancient culture created the Cyclops? I assume Greek. Yeah.
It's in the Odyssey.
The Odyssey. That's what I thought. Homer's Odyssey, right?
Soon to be a major motion picture from Christopher Nolan. Yeah,
I'm very excited for that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's okay if you
not
guys
casting
aren't.
a single Greek person.
Oh, that sucks.
It stars Matt Damon.
Well, you can't get Greeker than Matt Damon, especially the one from Team America.
Hey, that's an insult to everybody Greek.
I was more of an insult to Matt Damon, I thought, but okay, I was
It
trying
is,
to
it
insult
is, yeah.
Matt Damon.
I'm definitely leaning more on the side that Loki's a member of the Laser Eye tribe, for sure.
I like it.
I do like the idea that there's a tribe of people with laser eyes that they can't control.
Yeah, they're extinct. There's a good reason for that.
Or do you think they all just got laser eye surgery?
Oh, get out of here. There he is.
Well, you know, with, you know, and you know,
Yeah,
with
Steve.
the lovable mascots, you know.
Yeah.
Help me out, home movies fans.
The eyeball. What is it?
Cuckoo and
Cuckoo and
ping pong.
ping pong
and-
and cuckoo.
and-
Yeah.
Is it cuckoo? No, it's not cuckoo. It's something else.
This is
Cuckoo,
just a
cuckoo,
discussion for Maddie.
God damn it!
That's
fuck
all
were
it's
their names?
for. That's
No, it's Tuku, right?
Tuku,
and,
you're right.
And ping pong.
Something like it. Tuku and ping pong. You're silly. Oh, what did he say? You're stupid.
It's too late.
Go
She's
watch
already,
home movies.
She's already made angry tweets at us.
Which I think is still on Max. It has not yet been Zaslaved.
Wow.
I hope I didn't just put that into the ether.
It's just too obscure for him to even notice it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's no Looney Tunes.
Oh, you mean like eyeballs?
There it is. Two Hit Good says, I think Harold might have ripped out his horns after seeing how Loki was acting with Hyrudan, especially if he heard Loki talking about impure blood or whatever else. I still think Harold's a jackass. I have no reason to think that, but I think
at first I thought instead of Loki, I thought you said Wokey.
Well, no, that's
Well,
the
he
blood.
is
You're
using
thinking
more
of the
blood,
blood.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that the idea that he's just so mad. It's like Homer's strangle response, but he's just ripping his own horns out instead. The damn boy.
No, it's like the Treehouse of Horror, right? Where it's the parody of the Twilight Zone, when Bart keeps he has like psychic abilities.
Yeah.
And Homer just walks in and he's like just ready to kill him.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm a big stupid moron with an ugly face and a big butt. My butt smells
smells
and I like to kiss man butt. I was watching, skimming through, I guess, the latest One Piece anime, the Fishman Island arc or whatever, and at the end is Luffy, giving the blood to Jinbei, and I thought to myself, oh, that's woke blood. He's getting Luffy's getting woke blood from Jinbei.
Last note here is from Retro Neko Art, who says, I love that hashtag's name, not gonna lie. Just had to put that one out there. But there was a lot of contention around the hashtag, and there continues to be. But we know what we're not calling it, and we're not even going to say. So that's the end of Blue Sky Pia and Piece Together. Why don't we round off?
Why don't we?
Why not? Huh?
Why not?
This has been episode 861 of the One Piece podcast for March 24th. Thank you all for coming on the show. A very fun one once again. Thanks to Ed, who also had to take off after the manga recap. Next week, we have Marianne, voice of Flampe, and many others in the world of dubbing. She's going to be returning next week. And after that, we have Dr. Gomez joining us on April 6th. So fun shows. Excited. Hopefully the manga's on for both those weeks, too. Before we go, though, Alex, where could people find you?
At home with a baby. But if you want to find me on the internet, I'm on Blue Sky at Dude Exclamation. I will post there occasionally. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I won't be the only dad host.
I know.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. We both talk endlessly about children, our children, and bore everyone else.
Indeed.
Yeah, it'll be great.
This is what happens when you get older,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you decide that you want to change your life dramatically by adding to your family a little thing that runs around
Poops.
that will eventually develop a personality, but for the first few months, poops and sleeps.
Sack of potatoes.
And eats sacks of potatoes.
No,
apparently.
that's not what I'm saying. Don't feed your baby sacks of potatoes.
Jeez. Child Services, I hope you're listening to this episode. Zach just admitted that he feeds his baby
Don't feed
sacks
my baby
of
sacks of potatoes.
As if this was Ireland circa...
How dare you?
Stupid babies need the most potatoes.
All right. Anyway, I don't look forward to being on hiatus, but in a way I do, because I get to have a kid. And
You're gonna, yeah.
Congrats.
No, I want you to enjoy it and not have
I'm
to
going
think
to
about the
read-
podcast.
I'm going to read One Piece to him before bedtime.
I usually just would sing One Piece. To be fair, Eliza did always like Bink Sake, and the 5 words of it I remember.
Wow.
Yo ho ho, yo ho ho ho.
You got him.
Oh, yeah,
You got
that's
him.
it.
You got him. And We Are, which I remember more of, but still not as much as Alex, who I'm pretty sure could do the entire prologue by heart. Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Yeah. You'll have to listen to another episode to hear that. Steve, where can people find you?
Hey, you can find me on the internet, steveyurko.com, social medias, Steve Yurko is most of my usernames. Listen to me on the 4Kids Flashback, listen to me on ProZD Plays Games over on YouTube. And I did a Twitch stream the other day with Sungwon. We did a bunch of sporkles that will be posted on his regular YouTube channel. There's one where we try to name as many pre-time skip One Piece characters as possible in 20 minutes.
Oh, is that why you posted that? Like, if I was born for one thing,
yeah. Spoilers. I blow some minds.
No, this doesn't surprise me. This does not surprise. If anyone listened to this podcast for any period of time and heard the trivia segment, Steve, I think usually is pretty dominating on especially on the character ones.
He is Mr. One Piece Mania of this podcast.
He is, I think, the closest to that we have here.
What was the first character that you shouted out, Steve? Dr. Fishbonen?
No.
Devil
my whole
Worshipper
thing,
number 3.
My whole,
The blue gory.
It was Mashikaku.
That I believe.
No.
Nice.
You'll just have to tune in to find out.
Come aboard and find out.
Come aboard and find out. Well, full circle once again. Check all that out. I'm excited to watch that now, and I'm gonna be yelling at Steve probably about some character you forgot. Although I don't really think there's any character you'd forget. Steven, where could people find you?
I am on Blue Sky at stephenpaul.bsky.social, and you can check out all the stuff I am doing for Shonen Jump and Viz. We got weekly One Piece and Akane Banashi chapters. We got bi-weekly Trillion Game chapters and monthly Shoten chapters. So, yeah, it's a pretty full slate of simulpub material for you to enjoy. And I certainly do enjoy working on them. So check them out on the Shonen Jump and Manga Plus apps if you're curious.
Mike Patten, I know you have the most exciting of news coming up. What is it?
Oh, I'm actually not going to talk about the really good post. I got that all the way. I do actually want to talk about something exciting that I was a part of recently. Over the summer, I boarded, animated, and did animation supervision on a music video for an artist who I've been a fan of for a long time, Nick Lutzko. It's called Reset. It was me and 20 other animators. We animated the music video. It was a ton of fun. So I recommend go check that out. Go to my website, patentpending.org, where I have added a ton of behind-the-scenes stuff for it. It was a blast to work on, and the video's getting really good reception. People like it, so that's been very nice. So I would love it if people went and checked that out. Give it a listen. The song's great. I've been bumping it for a while. And other than that, you could find me on Blue Sky at patentpending.bsky.social. And if you go there this Thursday, March 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be making a really good post. And I think that everybody should check it out.
Thank you, Mike. Look forward to that. I'm sure it'll be exactly as you promise. I have no reason to think it won't be. You could check out the podcast at onepiecepodcast.com. We have articles every week about the newest chapters. So if you haven't gotten enough One Piece discussion, Kirsten Carey of many outlets and also our composer is... Yes, Mike, is there something else?
I'm so sorry. I forgot to say one more thing.
Oh, no, go for it.
If you like the if you like the image for this podcast
sorry,
episode,
I meant to mention. Yeah.
Go check out Domance Dawn. It's a podcast where they take Simpsons characters and they cast them as One Piece characters. And I've been doing the cover art for it for a couple of years now, and it's been fun as hell to do. So you can check that out. Domance Dawn.
Thank you. And also thank you, Mike, for doing the image this week. And Steve finally gets a vacation where he just sits here and talks about One Piece instead of also drawing it.
You get to sit here and look at a computer screen.
Thanks for the reminder.
OnePiecePodcast.com. Please subscribe to us at patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. I was talking about Kirsten Carey. Amazing articles. Check those out every week. We also have the entire end of One Piece feature from Greg, which again is worth mentioning. He put 80-something pages of hard work into that. Available exclusively at OnePiecePodcast.com. I believe it's /the end of One Piece. Something along those lines. Could also check us out wherever you get your social media. Blue Sky, OnePiecePodcast.com, Instagram, Facebook, the other one, One Piece Podcast, the rest, Discord, discord.gg/One Piece Podcast. Skype, I think, officially merged with Teams or something. We have gotten voicemails, and I have been saving them for a rainy day in which there's no manga chapter. So I'm hoping we could do a call-in segment or show. So feel free to continue sending those in. I get the calls to my phone for some reason, so I know when they're happening. So they're definitely, they're either spam or actual calls. So that phone number is 347-497-MAJI.
Maji.
That phone number again, 347-497-6254. Call anytime.
Anytime.
With your questions, comments, theories, or if you're a Canadian, please let us know if you buy your blood in bags or cartons. If they call blood something weird there, like Smarties, just, we want to know.
Americans have Smarties too.
No, but Smarties and M&Ms are the opposite. Or the Smarties are M&Ms, I think, in Canada or something like that. Yeah, it's so backward. It's or forward. Not quite.
I would say forward.
Forward, probably.
Canada's a better country than the United States.
I mean, everyone agrees with that. Yes. Anyway, we all just got very serious there. Yeah, Canada is great. They have poutine there. I hope you all enjoyed this week's episode of the podcast. We'll see you next week for our recap of 1144. Until then, my name is Zach.
My name is Steve.
And my name is Baby Daddy. Alex.
Whoa.
We'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, Baby Daddy.
Hey, Daddy. Krillin, hi.
Okay.
Oh, no, the kid.
Should really just let the two of you go for another 10 minutes.
And I'm Sancho.